sections that can be added to further sorry, bear with me. There's extra sections that we can add to make your CV more appealing to certain countries. Okay, so looking at your CV overall, do you happen to have it open or anything, or are you going to take some notes on what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can check notes.
Okay, no problem. So I would always stay away from including your location on your CV. So your name, email address, and telephone number suffices. You do not need um to add the location on there. So I would say
Okay.
remove the location. So in terms of sections, after summary, usually you would add the skills directly on summary. Typically, when recruiting, for example, when I'm recruiting, I don't look at CVs for more than, say, 30 seconds. So everything I want to know, I want to see in the beginning. So I can see with your CV, you actually have added skills in the summary that would catch my eye if I was somebody recruiting for the role you're going for. However, it should be listed in skills format for ease of reading, and your summary should be aimed more towards you as a person and your uh how do we say it? Let me use Peter's for example. So you can see Peter's here. He's gone into his approach and his principles. So it's more about him as a person rather than his career. So it's a
Okay.
personal summary. Whereas this is very much career based in terms of you've entered the skills here, the summary section. So you started it correctly, a passion driven and certified cloud support engineer with experience in creating testing. And then it goes straight into skills. So it feels very robotic. Whereas that personal summary should be more about, I have a bear with me one moment. I have a CV template that I've created, and there's 3 questions on there that I would like to share with you in order to help you better answer this. Bear with me. So let me share my screen again. Let me know when you can see my screen again, please.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, so these 3 questions here, what skills and experience do you have? So your opening line pretty much answers that. What type of person are you? And how do you fulfill the role to the best of your ability? So it should be more about you, your approach, the type of approach you take. It shouldn't be long. I would say no more than 5 to 6 lines. However, it should be more about you. Am I making any sense to what I'm saying? Do you get, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Yeah? Okay, lovely. So if we go back to your CV, directly under your summary would be then your skills, and that's where you can list and get straight to the point about the skills you have. So I would definitely add the skills that you've got in your summary, but just in a different format underneath. So have you got a skills section on here? Yeah, lovely. So again, you've actually inputted these skills onto the CV. And one thing we never want to do on a CV is repeat. So I can see here that you've mentioned some of these systems that are also mentioned up here.
Okay,
So
that's
the
true.
skills section is fine. So move this skills section as is. The format of it is great. Move the skills section underneath the summary and then change it and then get rid of the repeating in the summary and make that more about the questions that I just said.
Okay.
Okay, lovely. So next, what I would do is the formatting of this is fine. Again, the location for each job role is not needed, so you can get rid of that. All you need is the job title and the company name. That's it, and then the dates.
Okay.
So these fine. I have already looked at your CVs, by the way, so please don't think I'm just sifting over it. I was sent them beforehand. So I'm just going to check live with you now for gaps because that's the first thing that we will do, especially if you're aiming for the UK. The gaps in the CV is always a big problem. Most employers will ask you where the gap was, what it was for. So 2014, March 2016. You started that before, that's fine. 2018. Okay, so there's no gap, so that's great. It's fine. Education and training. That's fine. If I'm going into, if I'm being really, really picky, for the education, you only need the year. So again, you can get rid of the location.
Yeah.
Locations can go, and then it would just be the year. You don't even need the month, just so this one can be 2018 and this one 2014.
All right.
That's fine. Certifications. So I would never include any like any identifiable information on your CV. So I would get rid of the little logos next to the certifications. I would just keep the title of the course and the year that you completed it, or how you've left it is fine. Issued May 2023, that's fine. But the credential ID, now I will let you tell me what was the reason you added the ID? Is that something that somebody can go and search, or is it just something that you received and you put it on there for like evidence?
Yeah, in case they want to verify it, the
Okay.
credential ID is for verification.
Okay. So I would remove the credential ID.
Okay.
Um, you have to bear in mind that your CV is something that you're sending out, multiple times, and you can't always guarantee that it's going to be in the safest devices and all things like that. So you don't want to add anything that's personable to you in that sense. So it would be at the stage of interview or at the stage of the onboarding process where you can then show evidence and verify your qualifications that you have.
Right.
So I would just leave it at the title of the course and then when it was issued, and then remove the logos for a simplistic way. So I would keep the same formatting you've done here, where the title is here and then the dates here. I would carry that on underneath so it's all cohesive.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
And then this is specific to you. So in terms of relocating to the UK, I can again show you my guideline. So you want to add these two sections onto your CV, ideally. So this is preferable to those wanting to relocate. So you may want to create another copy and then use one for relocation and then one for normal. If you're staying in the country, then of course you won't need the additional information. However, I don't know what stage you're at in looking to relocate or anything like that, but if you've looked at the requirements of the country, you would want to add the additional information section for any requirements to the country specific. So, for example, this is aimed at a different industry. So, this is aimed at more healthcare industry. However, it can still require to use. So, I'm not sure if you're aware, you would need police report clearance. You would need an IELTS test for most roles, and these are visa requirements. So, this will basically show the employer that you're aware of the requirements in order to receive sponsorship for the roles if you are looking for sponsorship, or if you aren't looking for a COS, then it would be you aware of the requirements to get your visa.
Okay.
So it lets the employer know that you're somebody who does background, background research and you're aware of what you need. For references, it can be useful to add at least one reference where you just put the name of the person, the job title, and their email address. Most jobs won't contact them or they'll ask you permission before contacting them anyway. Just kind of adds a bit like an extra layer of trust to your CV in the sense of you're providing a reference up front so they know that they have somebody who can verify what it is you put in your CV.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. So as for the CV document itself, that is the majority of edits I would add to yours. Do you have any questions?
I wanted to ask if this can be made available, the template, the guideline.
It can. I actually haven't created one for Bincom just yet. This is my first CV review for this type of CV. So what I will do eventually is I will alter it to include things specific to these type of roles. So yes, I have no problem sending it forward to you. You just have to bear in mind that it is aimed at a different industry. However, the last two sections definitely you can use as you've just seen. So yeah, if you want to drop your email in the chat for me, I'm happy to forward you that over.
All right, I'll do that.
No problem. Okay. Do you have any more questions that you'd like to ask?
That'll be all for now.
Okay. I am happy to see your CV again as well. So, I'm not sure if you have my email address. But if not, maybe you can get it from Peter and you'll be able to send me your CV and I'm happy to review the changes that you've made if that's something you'd would want to do.
Sure.
Okay, lovely. Um, Cover letter
I
as
just sent
well.
out.
Have you attempted a cover letter at all?
You said what?
Have you attempted a cover letter?
A what? Cover letter?
Yes.
Yes, I've done that before, but
Okay. So I'd be happy to review a cover letter as well if you want to email me that over. So I actually do have a cover letter template as well that I'll be happy to send to
okay,
you. So this is like a something that I've created to help you kind of explain your skills and experience. And it's kind of like a breakdown to be used as a template to further to help you get the best out of a cover letter.
so
Okay, so I'm happy to share that with everybody in here. If you'd like me to share it with you, please drop your email and I will gather your emails and send it to you before the session ends.
I just sent my email. Did
Yes,
you
I've
receive
got
it?
it. Thank you. Yes, I see it. Okay, no worries. So, Peter, are you with us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, lovely. So let's move on to yours then. So I don't want to repeat everything I've just said. So I'll just briefly go over because I know some of the things will be the same. So, in terms of yours, Peter, so again, the location can be removed because we just want the email and number. Can I just ask you again, Peter, what are your intentions in terms of geographical?
Sorry, I didn't get that very well.
What are your intention? Are your intentions to find
Okay.
work where you are, or are you
Yeah.
trying to relocate, or what type of work are you looking for? Will you be looking for?
Yeah. For now, I think uh, I will do better in Nigeria, but in the nearest future, I hope to uh, go globally. That's why I'm trying to craft a compelling CV that will be globally attractive
Okay. So did
as a
you hear
project manager.
everything? Did you hear everything I said to Kolawale about the additional information section?
Yes, ma.
Yeah, okay. So that's how you would edit your CV once you're ready to use it internationally. That's why I said you can have the two copies, one with the additional information and reference section, and then one that can be used more locally. What that's still the international structure, which is what I'm telling you guys now anyway. However, one of them can be aimed towards actually sending international. Okay, so
Okay, ma.
again, same thing. So we want to really call this a personal summary. I'm just going to read over it again. So this personal summary, I would say, is a good one. Is this the role that you're aiming to get, an IT assistant project manager?
Yes, ma.
Okay, lovely. So that's fine. So this is fine. I would say this is good. The length is good. The what is said is good. It's all about you. So we're just missing the skills section. So I'm going to find where you've put it. So again, your skills section needs to come directly underneath the personal summary. Okay.
Okay, that's noted.
In terms of your skills section, they're okay. However, I would like you to shorten them down. So I would rather you have more skills, but more to the point. So again, I'm just going to compare you guys' ones because it's easier to show. So you see how these are straight to the point where just the software or the system is just listed. We kind of want to do that. We don't want to add the extra words like use of project management tools. Let's just put Trello board, another one, Jira, another one.
Okay,
Microsoft Office Suite, I wouldn't bother adding. We only want skills that are relevant to the role. And I would say Microsoft Office Suite, especially in the field that you guys are in, is kind of a given, like expected. So you only want to add skills that are going to strengthen your CV.
okay,
Again, with these, you want to get rid of the extra words. Just put Canva, Adobe Express, CorelDRAW, InShot. These skills, these three need to go. We never ever want to add soft skills in your skills on your CV. The skills on your CV, we only want hard ones. We want focused ones. We want career specific ones, ones that can be proven, ones that I can say, show me, and you can log on and show me. So you really want to use the skills for the softwares and those type of things. Okay.
okay.
Okay, lovely. So again, the format is fine. I'm just going to check for gaps because this is what an employer will usually do. So is all of this for one job? All of this as well?
Yes.
Okay, so it's two. So we don't, it's this, you see where it says like technical support, network management, cybersecurity. We should get rid of those type of key responsibilities. We want key
Okay,
responsibilities that you did, so actionable things that you did. So not like this is kind of like a list of key things and then an explanation for them. Just choose your key things that you did in a role.
okay,
So I would say usually I say no more than five things. But if you have more than five and if your CV isn't that pack driven with experience, then of course you'll have space to add more. Ideally, your CV won't be more than 3 pages long. So this CV is 1, 2, 3, 4. We can easily get this CV down to 3 pages. this can be minimized significantly. You want to just focus on the actionable key things that you did in the business rather than the average things that somebody would do in a role like this. So this one is fine. This one is great. This one again, we want to stay away from this formatting. We want to just keep it like this one, where you just tell us straight to the point the key things that you did in that role. So summarizing. Okay.
Yeah, that's noted.
So October 2018, January 2018, August 2020. Okay, so you have a 3-year gap. I'm not going to ask you in this session because you might not want to share, or that's personal to you. However, when you have a gap in your CV, you really want to highlight it. So I can share with you again another template that I've created.
Okay.
So this is one I've created. Now, this again is aimed at a different industry, and I'm happy to create one for you guys so it's more, you don't need it. Your CV is already past this point, but I'm just want to show you this bit here. This is how you would highlight an employment break. So you want to include it in your work history section exactly as a job, for example. So your employment break would start from September 2020. So it should say September 2020 up until what month comes before May? January, February, March, April. April 2023. So it will be those dates. And then instead of putting the job title and your job name, you would put employment break. And then you would put a bullet point just explaining what the employment break was for. So employment break due to, and then whatever the reason was for. So whether you were pursuing education, whether you were having time for personal development, whatever it was, you should include it in there. That way, if I come to your CV and I'm looking at just the dates, and because this is what I do, I look at here, then I look at this one, I make sure that there's no gap. I look at the last one here and I expect the first one to follow. So you would input the employment break in between your current role here and the one previously. So you input it exactly where the break is. So it would come above this role here. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So I would like you to add that in there so then we close the gap. Okay, we've spoken about skills. Again, you can remove the month for education and just leave the year. That's fine. Okay. Would you mind just telling me what these are? These last things on here, what are they? The one with the link, like if I click on the link, what's it going to take me to?
Okay, it's a link to the certificates.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, I would remove that. All you need is the title and the name of the university and the year. Please remove links to court. Let me try click on it. What opens up? Oh no, I definitely wouldn't have this link on your CV. Does it have, this is so specific to you. Well, to be honest, it's up to you. If you really want it on there, then I can't tell you not to. But me personally, I wouldn't want anybody who has access to this CV then has access to your certificate. They can edit it, they can do all these different things. So it's all about protecting yourself. Just because you will be sending your CV out to multiple places, would you feel comfortable sending out the certificate to multiple places? So that's a question that you can kind of decide and then, decide whether you want to take it out or leave it in. But me personally, from an employer perspective, I feel like adding the name and the year and the institution that gave you the certificate suffices. And then when you then get onto interview process or onboarding process, that's the stage where I will start to see certificates from you.
Okay.
Okay. And then furthermore, again, so the additional information and the references section would be added if you intend to now start applying internationally. And that can be added for any country that you'd be aiming to go to. So whether that be the UK, Australia, US, it doesn't matter where, the additional information, the contents of that should be the country specific to the country that you intend to send that CV to. Okay, do you have any questions?
Yeah. There's none for now.
None for now. Does anybody else in here have any questions about anything I've said about any of the other CVs or something you'd want to ask about maybe what yours looks like? Or I'm happy to answer anything because we do have, we haven't taken the whole session up. So no questions, okay, Olivia. So have you found this session useful? Do you feel like you've left with knowledge that you didn't have before? Or do you feel like I've missed something out? Please let me know. I'd love some feedback.
Yeah, for me, I've learned. Thank you so much. At least I've been able to identify some mistakes there. So I'm going to make some corrections.
No worries at all. And as I said, I am happy to receive your CV for a second review, where you can send me your edits and your cover letter as well. If I'm not sure if we'll be having another session with you guys, but if so, then I'm happy to review. So I'm going to stop. Oh, I'm going to stop
Okay.
sharing.
Okay. I think I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now how can one have a CV? Like how can my CV be tailored to different tech roles? Such as because like right now, my career path is project management. So is it
Okay.
possible, yeah, for me to, because maybe I'm knowledgeable in different tech roles. Is it possible to have a one CV that covers for all, like different tech roles, like such as software development, project management, and all that?
Yeah. So overall, you should always have a baseline CV. So especially if it's the same industry. So a CV should include pretty much all your achievements. So that's okay. So for example, what was the second job title you said that you might want to go for?
It's software development.
Okay, so let's choose that for example. Your current CV,
Hello?
uh, one second. This current
Okay.
CV here, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Would you say that the skills that you've listed would pertain to a software developer?
No. Um, I try as much as I can to narrow it down to uh, things that has to do with project management.
Okay, so you've left some skills off of here that you do have, but you haven't included them.
Yes.
Okay, okay. So this is aimed at a specific role. So what I would advise is for you to create a master CV. in terms of listing all the skills down. And then you can pick and choose which one goes on to different job roles. So, for example, the main two things that would change on a CV when you're applying for different roles would only be the top two sections, which would be the personal summary and the skills, this experience and the education and everything else underneath would stay the same because you should add all you should add all your experience regardless of the role that you're applying for.
Okay.
Okay, so the only things that would change is the personal summary and the skills section. So that is exactly what you would edit.
Okay.
So it would be instead of as an IT assistant, it would be as a software engineer, and then you go on and tweak exactly what you need to tweak up here. And then the skills, you would change out the skills that you've put and then put the ones that are more relevant to the role you're going for. Okay, so it's
Okay.
a very, very
That's okay.
easy change. Once the rest of your CV is good, then it's literally just the top two sections that you edit, and then you can save a copy for each one.
Okay.
The thing that you really want to really want to make personal to the job that you're applying for would be the cover letter. So I'm going to send you this. I'm going to send this to all of you that've dropped your email in the chat now. This is what you really want to focus down to the specific job role. And this is where the cover letter is where you will make it, you will use the job description that you're applying for in order to create your cover letter. So you want to make sure that the things that are in the job description that you're applying for are listed and mentioned within the cover letter. But as far as the CV goes, it will just be your personal summary and your skills section that edits. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes, it does.
I hope I've answered your question. But again, I'm not sure exactly if us as a group will be having a session again where maybe you'll have the opportunity to show me a CV aimed at a different role. But if we are, I'd be very happy to review it. If we're not, then I'm happy to receive it through email. So you can just drop me an email saying, hi, this is a CV sample for a software developer, and I'm happy to review it. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So my email address will be the one that I'm sending you these documents from if you want to reach out. Okay, so I'm just going to attach again. Please remember the CV guideline might be aimed at a different industry, but the additional information and the reference section will still pertain to you regardless of the industry. So while I do that, I'm happy to take any more questions from anybody. Nobody have any questions?
No question.
Okay, then I'm just attaching the guideline now, and I'm just attaching the cover letter template. Just going to attach that now. Okay, then. Okay, I've just sent that forward now. If you just want to confirm that you guys have received it before we end the session. So then at least I know that everybody's got that who wanted it.
Yes, I've seen it.
Lovely,
Thank
thank
you.
you. No worries.
I've also received this. Thank you.
No problem. Have you got it, Peter and Susan?
Yeah, I've gotten.
Okay,
I've gotten the
lovely. Lovely. Okay then, guys. So I think that will conclude today's session. I hope it's been useful to all of you that has joined. And I shall speak to you soon when you send for your next reviews.
All right, Ma. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you for joining. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Hello, Susan. Can you hear me? Hello, Susan. Hello, Susan. Can you hear me?
Hello, yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you got the message on the channel, on the Slack channel concerning your CV. So your CV was declined because they said you are not yet qualified to for tech profile and CV review yet.
Yes, yes, I understand.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right. You're welcome. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a lovely weekend.
Thanks so much.